There we go. There we go. Took me a minute. Took me a few minutes. But I guess that's what happens, guys, when you take a few weeks off of streaming, basically. Yeah, it's probably been about at least a few weeks. In any case, how's it going, Tramari, Pyro? Thanks for tuning in. I got some Artel W, Space Wolves, some transhuman wolfy-like warriors. So I figured I'd do a little bit of building today as we hang out and maybe check out those new Terminators at some point. Because I did see some images sent my way. But let's see here. Pyro asks, question there, lad. If we were to move the datasheets from 10th Tyranids to 9th and older, what slots in an organization chart would they occupy? That, Pyro, is an excellent question. And it's actually something I wanted to... It's something I was considering doing, not only for homebrew campaign purposes, but also as a possible series, because I think that'd be kind of fun. Figuring out a force org paradigm for the various factions. To answer your question, we would really only have to look at the new ones if we were looking at 9th edition's force org chart. Right, I think most of the new units more or less fall in line with their similar unit types. I think the Cyclophage is probably a fast attack. That's where the Venom Crawler used to be, if memory serves. And they are similar assaulty, crawly monsters. Von Ryan's Leapers are either assault or fast attack. Screamer Killer, heavy support, for sure. Norns, possibly... Unfortunately, I don't think they're beefy enough to be Lords of War. Or maybe they would be. Maybe they would be. Like, I mean, an Armiger is a Lord of War. So why wouldn't a Norn be a Lord of War? Wacky Inflatable Arm Flailing Tube Man, welcome to the stream. I'm enjoying a cup of warm bean juice. Right, so here you can see a Wolf King type figure. It's actually a very nice sculpt. Very nice, very tasteful. Nice pose, good energy, good sense of movement in the sculpt. I gotta say, it's pretty good. I did some magnetizing. There's a sword option, which is why the sword is not in the scabbard, because I think it'd be fun to have the option. And actually, you can build him as a Wolfman too. I don't have the full assembly glued. Maybe I'll just do a little dab of glue here. I'll just do a little dab of glue before I show you guys, just for demonstration purposes. I hope that answers your question there, Pyro. I figure it... I can't recall all the new Tyranids units offhand. A Neurolictor would probably be in the same elite slot with a Lictor. Neurogaunts? Maybe Battle Line. I don't know. They don't feel valuable enough to be elites. Power says, oh my goodness, I don't think I found a video that describes the thought process of making custom datasheets for 40k, like the possibility of explaining the tools available and such. Interesting, Pyro. Maybe I'll make a note. Maybe I'll make a note on that comment of yours. Let me get my trusty little notepad here. See my editing notes. It's very valuable to have a notepad on your desk. Okay. So, we are looking for video on creating Homebrew data sheets. That should be a quick video, actually. I like that. I like quick videos. I don't do too many, though. Okay, so with that glue dried, you can see this Wolf King guy looking very handsome. But we can make him look more bestial, because we have an alternate body option here, where he is ripping apart a maybe a Egyptian-themed Space Marine. And I believe I got the magnets done correctly, so we can just swap the top, and well, the backpack's on the other torso. I mean, personally, I don't love the backpack with cape on the wolf body, but I mean, I suppose it works if that's your vibe. It's definitely savage, so you can appreciate that. Got some grim in the dark there for you. Whack inflatable arm flowing tube man. It's such a mouthful. Inflatable arm tube man says, if /1 warrior points are ever introduced, do you think factions, namely Guard and Marines, could benefit from datasheet consolidation? Yes, I think they could benefit. I don't know if we'll get warrior back. I think GW likes the lowered threshold of work required to manage the game system that they're kind of tied into having to manage because of the competitive scene. Right? You kind of create your own problem, so you build up a competitive framing for this game of yours, and now that comes with an increased responsibility to manage all these points and manage the balance and all this kind of stuff, and change it up season to season, right? And that's a lot easier if you don't have to deal with points. Like war gear points, rather. It's supposed to be the plural of columbarium, but autocorrect treats it as Columbia. Technology is weird. Technology is weird, Tramari. Technology is weird. Okay, so what else do I have to show here? We got some wolf riders. They are very nice looking. I got everything tightly packed into one box, and it's a bit much. It's a bit much. Okay, here's one with a base, and the other one does not have a base. But he sits. He sits like that because he's weighted properly. Oh, but he's headless. Okay, so he needs a head. Yeah, but look at this. Just beautiful. I quite like it. Very impressive. Such detail. Much wow, right? I think all of the riders have the option for hammers, axes, or chainswords. But I kind of like the idea of Vikings with axes. It feels a bit more thematic. So, we'll with the axes. And then I have some guys on foot. And I don't think any of these guys have... Well, one guy has a base. Okay. I guess these guys could be like your head takers. Yeah, you got your cup in case you get thirsty in battle, you know. You can take a swig. Okay, so we're gonna build the head and arms for this guy, and probably this one as well. Shamar says, ew, I just been ad bombed. Let me take a look at the stream settings. Let me take a look. I have the technology. do I find it? There it is. Okay, well the frequency is set to low. Maybe I can set it to manual. There you go. That should solve the issue. That should solve the issue. And lastly, we have just some doggos. And I have one that is remaining to be built. So they're pretty like giant dogs actually, and I don't know if the bases they come with are I think they're too large to work as the head takers doggos, unfortunately. So that's a bit of a bummer. I think these came out before the new Space Wolves models, so you can't help that too much. Rather, I think these, I believe I'm correct on the timeline here. I think these, not Space Wolves, themed Space Warriors came out before the Space Wolves release earlier this year. So that is a fact to consider. But honestly, like, I am not opposed to playing with models on imperfect base sizes. Hence my converted Norn. Which, if you haven't seen, I would recommend anyone in chat go give that video a watch on my channel. Of course not right now. You should hang around and stream and chat. Do some hobbying and some hanging. I thought these just snap on, but I think that they... No, I guess you're supposed to glue them. I think these are the storm shields. Because you have the option to give each of these wolves a normal shoulder pad or this larger one. Okay, so I guess I'll start just by finishing off these head taker guys. Just make some hobby space. What is in here? We have a sword. I do like the idea of the head takers being dual wielders. The chainsword and axe is a pretty cool combo. It's just a matter of finding the right baggie. Should have labeled my baggies. Should've, could've, would've. Alright, here's the one. So everybody in chat, are you enthused for new Terminators? Is it everything you've wanted? Everything you've wanted all along? More Terminators? Can't help but lack enthusiasm. But I understand. I understand the allure. Okay, so we're going to give him an axe this way, and we'll give him this headpiece. I like the idea of all Space Wolves having no helmets. I think that is the Fenrisian pride, you know? I think you want to flex that. And I've recently become rather fond of painting faces, as crazy as that claim is. Sneaky Turtle subscribed. Thank you. Thanks for the subscribe. That is very cool. So, yeah, we'll probably pose them kind of like this. It's a bit weird. I mean, you have the option to give them storm shields too. Now, I don't know if in gameplay rules terms, head takers must be all unified in their loadout. I haven't checked. But for the purposes of... I mean, you could just rule of cool it and play them however. That is an option. Okay, let's try and carefully remove this and just clean it up. Hopefully I'm not ruining it. But if I do ruin it, we'll have to just call it battle damage and carry on. And the pommel seems intact. I mean, it's got some nice detailing, right? You got some Fenrisian runes there. Don't know how well that comes across on stream. That's pretty cute. Do a little bit of scoring action. I always like to score the resin parts. I don't know if it's necessary, but it's sort of a habit. I think I might have been bad touched one time by putting together a resin model that continually kept falling apart. Inflatable arm. Flailing Shootman says, they do not. They have mixed loadouts as of now. Okay, well that's something. That's something to consider. I believe the arms and weapon options on these guys are kind of mix and match. You can kind of do whatever you want. So maybe I will give one of these guys a shield. Well, that looks pretty cool. You have one guy in the squad with a shield. Because he leads the charge. He's the tank in the squad, right? That makes sense. What does chat think about these two shields? Left or right? Which one? Which one do we go with? I will let chat decide. And we'll keep this guy as the dual wielder. Captain Hindsight. Excellent username. Tremar says battle damage and carry on. Sounds like a modeling shirt or button. You know what, Tremar? That's not a terrible idea. I don't have anything much in the I don't have anything at all, actually, in the way of merch. But that is funny. Captain Hindsight says left. Skull shield it is. Okay. Sassa17 says I would go with left too. Okay, good to know, good to know. It is more bold, right? You have that cool skull right up front. I am amenable to the runic sort of weaving pattern. I don't think it looks bad. But this is fierce, right? Ferocious. Very bestial. I hope I'm getting these mold lines out of here. I swear when you paint models, sometimes the mold lines emerge. Okay, we're gonna give him those. The shield will put aside with the other guy. And we'll prep this head. Tramari says, I suppose the skull would make sense if they're the tank of the squad. It definitely puts the fear into the opponent, right? I guess it does also feel more grimdark, right? Skulls as a rule of thumb. Probably a good way to go in that regard. I don't know if there's any mold lines to worry about on this. Maybe the back? Either the mold lines are well hidden or I can't see them. Let's do a little bit of scoring. And then we'll do a bit of scoring in here. Alright, so this weekend I took the Norn Phantom out for a couple of games. And, well, in one game it didn't die at all. Actually, in one game it didn't get hurt at all. And in the other game it was destroyed immediately. Such is the curse of giant centerpiece models, I guess. I do want to put together a custom data sheet for the Norn Phantom. More so for hobby wish fulfillment. I think this is the way I want the sword to go. He's gonna look. That looks kind of cool, right? How the sword's just kind of like angled across, separating his neck and torso. Okay, we'll try and do that. My body screams in agony because of going to the gym, says Tramari. Well, way to crush the gym. Okay, you know what? I support this effort, Tramari. I think you should keep going to the gym. Oh, you know what? I done goofed. This shoulder pad's upside down. That's not right. Oh my god. Oh my god. Is it removable, or do I have to put this in the freezer? Oh no, we good. We good. I got this. No problem. Disaster averted. See, it's not embarrassing at all. Not embarrassing at all. Yeah, that seems a bit more natural. This is an excellent bop. I don't listen to the playback of these live streams, so I don't know how loud the background music is. But this is, I'm pretty positive this is a track from Animal Crossing. Or, yeah, probably Animal Crossing. Okay, I got some glue like gobbed up here pretty bad though. As a rule of thumb, super glue does not like to stick to super glue, so you gotta kind of like get all that gunk off. let's try that. Shamar says, looks good and music's good. Hell yeah. Okay, that's better. That looks much more correct. Oh boy, oh, he's looking up to the sky. Swords like that. Yeah, it's more or less what I was aiming for. Q. Sass is 17th just subscribed. Thank you very much. We're moving on up, bit by bit, one subscriber at a time. I want to try and, you know, I don't want to jinx anything. I've reached out to Artel to do, oh, and I missed that one. I missed it. I missed someone else subscribed and I missed it. Sorry. My humblest apologies. I was too focused on gluing this and sharing my thoughts. I don't want to jinx anything, but I reached out to Artel to try and get a greater discount code. Because right now all I have is an affiliate link from them, which is, look, they send me stuff. That's cool. But I'd like to be able to give people in my channel, people who subscribe to my channel, more value, you know? So fingers crossed I'll get a proper discount code. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, there's a decent silhouette there. Do you want to twist the axe a bit? No, I think that was... Yeah, I think this is stronger. Yeah, that's pretty good. Pretty strong. Okay, we'll let him dry. I'm iffy on that shoulder pad. I don't know if I sufficiently scraped off all of that glue or not. Eric Brandenburg says, I have missed you. The feeling is mutual, Eric. The feeling is mutual. Ethan Shan is out now, is he not? If memory serves, I believe you were looking to obtain such a chapter master. Unless I'm thinking of someone else. Let's take a look. Let's take a little hobby break. Take a look at those Terminators. Wasn't expecting more Space Marines, even more. How foolish of me. Let's see here. Switch to a browser view. Yeah, these are the... This is basically what I have on my desk right now. But the Warhammer community featured news. Anything from the weekend? Grand narrative. Drukari. Okay, I'll take a look at this and this. Sunday preview from yesterday. Oh, Codex Drukari. And new artwork at... Oh, wait, no, is it? This looks familiar. Maybe this isn't new. Yeah, she's new. Optional assembly. So Lady Malice. Lady Malice. Definitely Lady Malice, right? That sounds like a GW thing. Huskblade, cool fan. Hairstyle similar to, I think, one of the witches. Oh, and look at her abilities. With the ability to put up to 3 units into strat reserves after deployment. She has a redeploy. Oh, that's so good. And increase the cost of certain enemy stratagems by 1 CP. What does that mean? Certain enemy stratagems? Are we back to modifying like battle tactics again? Optional heads are awesome. That is a nice inclusion. I kind of wish... Like, why can't named characters have warrior options? The only one I can think of is the Lion in 30k. Because I believe in 2nd edition Horus Heresy, you could opt for either sword. I think it was a warrior option. I don't think he took both into battle. I might be mistaken, though. New Archon? Yeah, it looks nice. It looks nice. What more is there to say? Look at that Agonizer. It looks so good. Yeah, like Incubi-style helmet there. Combat Patrol Drukhari. I don't know. Look, personally, I feel like these are... I feel like this might as well say last chance to buy. I don't know. I think either Orcs or Drukhari are going to be the overhaul. Or the face, the heal, the Xenos heal for the new edition. Come 11th. Because the racks have not aged well, despite being a plastic kit. And I really like racks. They're a really cool Drukhari subfaction, the Homunculus Covens, if you want to call them that. Oh, another Krieg Combat Patrol. Well, that's cool for Krieg fans, I guess. Got your Gross Horses, Heavy Weapon Team, Command Squad. You have a Necron book. Whatever. I don't care about the books. Don't particularly like those dice. Yeah, I just feel like these are last chance to buy. I don't know. Just a guess, just a hunch. Trenchroll Bacon says, yes, my stinky Drukhari. Welcome to the stream. Also, Omegon's twin, DS, welcome to the stream. Nice to see you guys. I was just checking out well, I haven't checked out the Terminators yet. I got distracted looking into the Terminators. I figured I'd look at yesterday's article for the new Combat Patrol. It seems fine. You know, this is nice. I like that there's a heal. That's a cool aesthetic for a female character. It looks like a heal, if that's what it is. Well, maybe I can enhance. I just have all my hobby shit in the way. Hold on. Oh, you know what I should do? Because I have this on my desk also. I can do a little promo for Artel here. So Artel has a model like this, right? It's a Yvrain style model. And it has multiple build options. One that's more Eldar looking and one that's more Drukhari looking. And I kind of mixed and matched the two options for this build. Just seemed more interesting to me. But I think this is a decent proxy for this Lady Malice. Pretty cool. Might as well just do that real quick. Okay, let's take a look at those Terminators. DS says Dark Eldar refresh coming 11th. I put my money on it. Yep, sounds about right. I think Rax. I don't know if Rax would be the heel of the on the cinematic, you know, on the box, but I would dig it, right? Like a real, in my heart of hearts, like a real return to the grim dark, right? Just having your Ultramarines, of course, right? Fighting Rax. DS says that not your brain looks quite good. Yeah, thank you. I thought so. It's a nice model. Okay, Assault Terminators are an unstoppable force and an immovable object. Ah, everything, eh? Okay, cool. Here's an uncontroversial opinion for you. Power fists are awesome. Yeah, okay. Tell me something I don't know. Okay. These look like assault terminators. Sergeant's got a armored crotch plate. Makes sense. Same. I wonder, is this the same teleport Homer? Are these the same poses with just different arms? I'll be honest, I haven't really used my assault terminators much since I built them. Or not my assault terminators, the Leviathan terminators. Excuse the slip. I think I have a photo of them. I think I have a photo of my terminators. I do. But if I simply put it on... Oh, I can... Here. Let's put it into my browser. Yeah, if I import the photo into OBS, it's just way too huge, because photos from cameras are obnoxious. Okay, here we go. We can enhance. We can look. Is there a striding walking pose? No. So the poses are different. That's a plus. Okay, Thunderhammer Storm Shields, classic. Does this mean you will finally have a captain with that option, which I've been fiending for since I kit bashed the Leviathan captain with the Thunderhammer Storm Shield? Because he ought to have one. See, my enthusiasm is just soured by past grievances. I have collected too many wounds. Well, lightning claws look good. Yeah, I think these are... I don't think we've seen any lightning claws on Terminators since Primaris, right? I guess Chaos. Chaos might have some sharp fingers, the Chaos Terminators. They're Freddy Krueger fingers. Yeah, they look cool. Look, if you're a Raven Guard guy, you're probably really pumped about these. You want to go Berserker Barrage with your Terminators? That's pretty exciting. Oh, I like this much more. This is cute. So it looks like that's probably freehand, if I had to guess. So then you can just write whatever you want there, slap a decal, and boom, you're good to go. That's the right way to do banners. For sure. Yeah, nice Terminator Ancient. See, the problem is nobody wants to fucking use Ancients. It makes me sad. It breaks my heart. I want to have like a custom mission where Ancients matter. That'd be cool. Fat Man's Kitchen. Welcome to the stream. Trummer says, I'm fading out here. I gotta take a nap. Hope your hobby time is going well, and hopefully I can get some done too. You deserve a good rest, Tremari. You went to the gym. You crushed it. Go take it easy. And then you have the Battle Force. 21 Terminators. So you have the... I think this is the new captain they have. So the new captain doesn't have Thunderhammer Storm Shield. But your chaplain has Corrosive Storm Shield. Okay. So you have one squad of standard Terminators, and then 10 Assault Terminators. That's 15 Terminators. Those are quick maths. You have 3 more characters. So they're counting the Teleport Homer as the 21 in the 21 miniatures. The Teleport Homers count towards your 21 miniatures. Oh, I guess technically, okay. And a new decal sheet. Interesting. It's all the... I mean, Ultramarines withstanding, it's all of the non-special snowflakes. So that's kind of nice. Kind of nice to see some dedicated decal space for... Oh, no Iron Hands. I guess someone had to take the hit. That sucks. I mean, you could have halved this, couldn't you? Now, I do have a crush on the Iron Hands, and so this is not a consideration, but if I were to obtain this Battle Force box, I would consider doing it with Iron Hands, because I think there's fun conversion possibility, and there's that new Terminator character that's coming at some point. And so, that's kind of a bummer that there's no Iron Hands here. Yeah, well, I don't think, this isn't on my wish list or purchase list, so... I get the excitement, though. Terminators are, desirable, nostalgia evoking product or unit, so yeah, well, we all knew they were coming after we saw the Leviathan Terminators. Eric Brandenburg says, I am so eager for their new detachment, for their character detachment. That's for the Iron Hands, Eric? Is that to what you are referencing? Oh my god, someone says that teleport Homer is a valuable part of the box. Oh, super valuable. Well, it is their ability. They do look nice. I think teleport Homers could be more interesting. Well, you know what, let's not get into it. I think the whole game could be more interesting. Let's shift gears. Shift the OBS back. Is our shoulder pad secure? Yeah, a little bit of wobble test. Looks good. Look at him. He's like, for us and the Allfather. That's what every Space Wolf says in my imagination. Every time you declare a charge. It's like when orcs call a law. Same sort of thing. Okay, this guy's pose, well, his head's already where it's at. Okay, so now the question is, do we keep this for maximum readability for our silhouette, or do we tilt it a bit? Based on his elbow, you can't really twist any more than this. It becomes awkward. Yeah, his anatomy would limit that rotation, I think. Well, I mean, you can twist like this, but just awkward. So maybe we angle a bit, because this is our play perspective, right? So straight vertical. Yeah, this looks better. I've convinced myself. It's very important. Very important to create a pose that you're happy with. Omegon's Twin says, I'm kind of looking forward to the new Victrix Guard. I hate the blueberries, but if the Victrix Guard aren't just Ultramarine Blade Guard or Inner Circle Companions, I'd consider buying them. I'm sure they're not just that. They'll have a unique ability, and they'll probably be keyworded to Ultramarines, if I have to assume. Right, so I don't think you'll be able to take Victrix Guard with... Adrax Agatone, for example. You know, for these Space Wolves, I'm thinking of doing a kind of UV resin type ice space, because I think that just looks super sick. I think that's definitely the way to go. Matthew just subscribed. Well, thank you for the subscribe, Matthew. Much appreciated. Yeah, I think an ice space would look really good. I like how you can... I don't think I would do anything crazy like submerge a model beneath the UV resin. You could. That's like a good thing to do on a large base. I wouldn't do it on this Wolf King because he'll have a lot going on his base already. And I think it's important to keep the focus on the Primarch or on the epic hero of such status. But maybe if there was a Dreadnought in the army, that might be a good sized base for such a feature. But yeah, ice bases look UV resin ice bases just look so good. Kind of like water bases. They have that instant appeal, that automatic wow factor, where people can't help but ogle. Which I say that like it's a good thing, but I've been burned and annoyed by that sort of effect in the past. It's like, yeah, you don't even see the good paint job. You just see the, oh, look at the shiny base. Wow. I think it does something with the lizard brain. It's like, oh, shiny. Look at that. Eric Brandenburg says, at 140k, you hear Henry Cavill is laid up with a leg injury while filming Highlander. We are praying for his recovery, but I hope he is getting some paint done. Oh, that's too bad. I wouldn't want... It always sucks when people have injuries. I mean, he seems to be a guy in great shape, as far as I can tell. I don't follow him beyond the movies he's in, but... You know, a healthy body recovers better than an unhealthy one, so I'm sure he'll be fine. Unless it's like some crazy severe injury. The details I do not know. Fatman's Kitchen says Defiler and Contempt are done. Now Heldrake and Knight Abominant. You know, some nice demon engines and vehicles there, Fatman's Kitchen. Hold on, let's score the inside of these wrist points. That is good hobby hustle there, Fatman's Kitchen. Way to be. Happy to hear others are getting their hobby projects done as well. See, we feed off the hobby camaraderie. It's very productive streams on this channel. Only productive streams. I think that angle is good. Tilt it up a little bit. You don't have a ton of working time with super glue, so I hope that isn't debilitating. It's so funny how YouTube added this like leaderboard for chat. That's so funny. I don't know, I guess it makes sense. Encourages activity. Yeah, select from table view, that axe reads. From front view, the silhouette. I guess we get tilted a little bit. Selfishly, I think of the photo view more than the table view. Like the on-the-ground, eye-level view. Whoops. A mortal wound. Well, I guess that was a good stress test for the shield. Warp Forge, welcome to the stream. Oh my god, Twin says, is that a leaderboard? I understand what I must do. Funny. Fatman's Kitchen says the Helldrake has airbrushing done and the knight still has a long way to go before it sees paint. The Helldrake might have the worst case of Chaos Trim, right? Like what? That's the #1 spot for Chaos Trim. Maybe Warp Talons underneath that. Alright, so we're gonna let this guy chill. So that's look, the third head taker there. And then I have one last doggo to build here. The last doggo. Omegon's Twin says, I must get the crown. Funny. Take care, Pyro. Thanks for tuning in. Okay, so we have a torso, tail, 4 legs. Everything is accounted for. That is good. Okay, so let's just get to trimming. Get to trimming these parts. Helldrakes are notoriously difficult to transport. True. Giant and awkwardly shaped. They're flying stands. I mean, that's flyers in general, though, right? My one buddy who has Helldrakes he has a very nice army trans. He has a Magna rack, right, for his for his army, but his Helldrake's in a shoebox. Yeah, his Helldrake is in a shoebox stuffed with grocery bags. And I find the contrast amusing. And that's just to your point there. The Helldrakes are just awkward. I honestly don't know what's going to happen to Flyers come 11th. I feel like they're out. I feel like in Games Workshop's competitive gaming system, they do not know what to do with Flyers. Or indirect, but I solved the problem with indirect. Well, not solved. I proposed a solution I think would work. You can see that on a video on the channel. Like, in fairness, I get it. I mean, aircraft would be such an exceptional utility piece in a ground war. So naturally, they're going to circumvent a lot of the other... Like, as they should. They're going to circumvent a lot of the normal limitations, as they should. Because they don't follow the normal rules of everyone else. And I think it becomes problematic. What do you guys think? Does chat have any good ideas on how to solve the aircraft issue? I love the idea of aircraft being hyper effective and therefore making not hyper effective, hyper potent. And then anti-air weapons become much more useful because of that. But then you have this like rock, paper, scissors kind of paradigm, and maybe that's not desirable for the competitive space. New Calgar shows that the Ultra Smurfs are still the favorite child. Among other things, yes. Among other things. Uther. I just saw you in chat. Welcome to the stream. Oh, that is not a... That's a peg. I almost cut that off. Yeah, look at that. I almost made a terrible mistake. That is supposed to insert. Fatman's Kitchen says, make aircraft only usable along predetermined lines every round. Predetermined lines as in, like, flight paths? Or, what exactly does that mean? I'm intrigued. Kind of going aggressive here with the mold line removal, but it's underneath the body. I don't think it's a huge problem. Warpforge says those wolves look nice. Yeah, I think so. Artel's space house Carls, I think that's what they call them. Yeah, they're nice looking models. These are big though. I don't know what. I guess you just count them as Fenrisian wolves or those head takers wolves. Omegon's Twin says, aircraft should all have bombs, a bunch of weapons, and move really quickly, with the caveat being they only show up for 2 turns. Batman's Kitchen says, round before you declare a bombing or anti-infantry run. Oh, that's a compelling paradigm. I'd be amenable to hearing. I just want them to work. I just want people's models to stick around. It's crazy, right? What a crazy thing to desire. We're gonna score the shit out of this wolf. Oh my God's Twin says I've returned. Welcome. Oh my God's Twin. Welcome back. Batman's Kitchen says maybe you only have to disclose the type and path of the run if an opponent has a unit with something like a radar keyword. There is a design space for such kind of field operative units. Like the nature of aircraft in a ground war, I believe, is that you're just going to have the situation where they technically should be non-interactable unless the enemy has like flak cannons or like these anti-air defense type units, which is a skew. But I think that's a cool skew. Just okay, that is scored, and I'll score this one. And actually, I did not check this one for mold lines. Ow, it's so sharp. Jesus. There's a bit of mold line, a little bit. Oh my gosh, been saying that with the 40k. When orc attack moons being added. Ah, dude, I don't think we're gonna get orc attack moons. I doubt. It just seems like GW's moving away from flyers altogether. I mean, you might get like a drop pod attack moon, maybe. That I could see something like that. Something that slams down, becomes an immovable unit, like a Sporocyst or something, or a Tyrannocyte, that sort of idea. Eric Brandenburg says that would be an epic project for with the 40k. Get a large pumice rock and carve it into a K/kill team set. That would be an epic project. I don't know if I want to do it. If I do an epic orc project, it's gonna be a Metal Gear Rex. That's all scrapified, okay? That's what it's gonna be. If it's a big if. It's definitely not on the table. Like it's not something I'm considering. But I was at a certain point, which is why I ended up with the Metal Gear kill team and the big boss orc. The Venom Snake orc. I do think a scratch build plastic hard Metal Gear Rex would be so good looking. Like, I think it'd be amazing. I just do not have the will for such a project. Alright, so it looks like you can't screw up the arms because all of the... Yeah, it's all... It's been made foolproof. So we can just get right to gluing. Nice. Oh, I didn't score this one. Oh my Guns Twin says, I did purchase and paint up a drop pod 2 weeks ago, funnily enough. Yeah, I've seen the new drop pod in person. I saw it this week, actually. It's fine. It's a drop pod. What more is there to say? Look at his running so fast. He's moving at least 7. At least 7. I need to start a new army, but I have no clue on what to go for. That is the question, isn't it? Doing the tail. I wonder, is there a wrong way to do this? Is it this way or this way? I think it's probably this way. I mean, that looks right. Well, that's a dog. Sup, dog? And we're... And you'll be situated on a little rock. A little tactical rock for your tactical dog, I guess. Look at the size of this wolf. Jeez. That's a space marine, right? So this is an eater of men, for sure. Terrifying. Yep. Well, that's pretty much all I had to build. That's pretty much it. Maybe I can magnetize our Lehman Russ's sword. Actually, in order to magnetize a sword, I have to find my magnets. So maybe I've gotten ahead of myself. Here. What size magnet are we working with? Oh, okay, I guess it's these ones. Alright, let's try that out. I'll do that and we'll wrap up the stream. Okay, here's some slain Egyptian space warriors. Not slain, but some base decoration. They go on Lehman Russ's base. I think there are these like spirit wolves that are attacking them, and he's posed something like this. Yeah, ghost wolves, if you will. Wolves from the warp. Alright, look at this one. This one's pretty cool. He's like missing his head, and the wolf's got the head. Like ripped it right off. Pretty dope. Now, these warriors look like 30k Thousand Suns if I had to place them, just because they're not made of dust. They're clear. They clearly have anatomy. Or maybe they're all aspiring sorcerers. Maybe that's how you spin it. Yeah, I think on Lehman's base, it's something like this. You have these two on the front of his base, and then he's up top on that Pride Rock looking thing. It's a pretty cool basing feature. It's just a lot of parts, a lot of component parts. And for the sword, yeah, it should work fine. Is the right size? No. Definitely not. We'll use this size as our pilot bolt. Adam Robinson, welcome to the stream. Wolves from the runes of Fenris. No psyker nonsense here. Yeah, it's all Fenrisian magic of spirits and all that. Yeah, no psychers. Ignore the keywords, of course. Of course. I would like to come up with a custom data sheet for this Lehman Russ. I think that's a fun little thing to do for all these Artel Primarchs. I did one for Lorgar. I'm pretty sure I shared it here in the channel via a post. And I thought that one was pretty... I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but I think that one turned out well. But for Lehman Russ, I'd have to do some research. Like, what would Lehman Russ's Primarch ability be? If we're following the paradigm of all the others, where you have this choose one of three at the start of some phase or round, what would Lehman Russ's options be? How would we make him unique relative to his brothers? I mean, to start, I would look at the 30k rule set and see how he's been characterized, and then try and carry that through. It seems my other drill bits are not here, so I wonder if I can manually embiggen this. Shouldn't be too tough of an ask. Eric says heroic intervention, 12-inch heroic intervention free. Oh yeah, oh, so free heroic intervention it does make sense. Yep. Would Lehman Russ have fights first like the Lion and like how we would assume Sanguinius would? I'm inclined to probably say no. What do you guys think? Definitely want to be a good fighter, but I don't think that means you must have fights first. Lehman Russ can choose a fursuit at the start of every round. You're just memeing. You're just memeing. Oh my gosh, so it's very unproductive. I'm looking for solutions. I'm looking for solutions to real world problems. That's what we do on this channel. Yeah, you probably want some mortal wound defense via Fenrisian mindset. That's essentially what it boils down to, right? Their belief. Their Fenrisian belief, their runic wards, all that stuff does give them protection against mortal wounds and psyker type effects. That seems reasonable. You'd want Rush to be a good fighter, obviously. Now, I don't think Artel built this kit to be magnetized so that you can transform mid-battle, but I think that's an interesting gimmick. Since you could, and since I did. But it's definitely not necessary. We're slowly but surely getting a good friction fit here. Exhausting Combatant. Second melee round onwards, models that engage or injure -1 to hit and -1 strength. That's an interesting way to characterize them. Definitely makes them different. So prolonged engagements with him are definitely undesirable. You know what? I don't hate it, Eric. I don't hate it. Okay, at this level, just want to check how it's sitting versus our guy here. Like, he has the option to dual wield or axe and shield it. And I guess you could technically build him. No, I think this hand holding the Thousand Sun is locked to this body, I believe. Yeah, looks like it. Okay, I think we can glue this in. Cool. Took a minute, but we did it. Or maybe it's already stuck in there, just through my sheer strength. We'll see. Yeah, you know what? If it sits, it fits, right? That's the rule. So now we have sword and... Oh, I spoke too soon. There it is. Okay, let me get a precision applicator for my super glue. A precision applicator. Uh-oh. Now, I hope I didn't flip it. That would be a shame. Oh no, we're okay. We're good. Okay, so that should sit, and we can probably wrap up the stream if I'm honest. Nothing much going on. How was that for you, chat? Did you get a lot of stuff done? Or you just hanging out? Didn't feel like busting out the paints. Figured we'd just do something light, just keep it to building. I feel that would be in line with his fight with Angron, where he didn't win, but fought him to a standstill while the Space Wolves took the World Eaters. A really troll ability it would be if he could deal mortal wounds with Fly. Oh, to models with Fly if he gets the charge. Oh my god, someone says absolutely not, but it was fun anyways. Well, I'm happy you enjoyed. Yep. I don't think there's anything cool to show. Yep, no, that's it. You know, for us and the Allfather and all that, we got our Wolf King, Lehman Russ in air quotes. I think I can glue like an effect here, but I don't know if I want to. I don't know if that really adds anything or not. Hey, he's looking pretty dope, though. Looking pretty cool. Satisfying out with the 40k, but as always, sir, you leave us wanting more. Well, that's probably a good way to manage the relationship, right? All right, guys. Well, thanks to everyone who tuned in to this hobby stream. And if you made it to the end, you guys are the real hobby heroes. And as per usual, I'll catch you in the next one.